Outsiders. Hello, Tony from the Outsiders channel here with you once again today. And today we are in Sedona still. That's right. Number 2 of 3 rides I've got coming at you right now. And right off the bat, I just want to say this video is going to be sponsored by the Red Agave Resort. More on that later. We're going to fill in some details. Oh. We have some crazy weather right now in SoCal. I figured I'd jump in and get the camera because the light is really nice, but yeah, I know, paint the fence. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, what we're doing today, we're gonna ride a really cool loop in Sedona on the YT Izzo Pro Race. That's right, it's gonna be my first time on the bike. For those of you that are new and just happen to click on this video, yes, this channel is now partnered and sponsored by YT Industries. With their HQ only being an hour from me, I headed down and picked up a YT Izzo Pro Race, threw it in the back of the truck alongside my Capra Elite, which is my go-to bike right now, and we're bringing both bikes to Sedona. So here's the breakdown. This is what I usually like to do in videos like this. First, we're gonna break down the components and the specs of the YT Izzo Pro Race. Some glam shots with Deb, as usual, are coming up after this intro. I'm holding it together. Right after that, I'm gonna take this thing out on a first ride in Sedona on a beautiful day, perfect weather, and see what this YT Izzo is all about. Give you my first impressions on the trail and take you along on the ride with me. After that, I'm gonna give you a short summary of what I thought of the bike, who is it for, what it felt like, because I'm coming off an enduro bike as my go-to right now. Jumping on a pretty Core XC bike, probably gonna feel a little bit different. That's it. Right now, I'm gonna send you off, guys, as usual. I'm gonna shut up. More riding, less talking. I try to stick to that as much as I can, but it's hard to do, as you can see. So, I'll see you on the other side. Fast, agile, and sharp. With these words, YT dropped the newest addition to their line, the YT Izzo. Featured here, the YT Izzo Pro Race. With the Izzo, YT brought in lighter components, like the Fox 34 fork and a 760mm handlebar. The Izzo Pro Race features some of YT's usual design styles, but the suspension, both 130mm travel front and rear, is something new for YT. The shock's positioned upright instead of lying horizontally in the frame. The Izzo features a remote lockout on the handlebar, which is something I hadn't used before, but all Izzo models come stocked with this RockShox twist lock remote. It allows you to lock out the rear shock remotely from the handlebar, and it was really intuitive when I used it. Alright, let's break it down. Brakes are SRAM G2 RSCs. The cassette, SRAM Eagle once again. Who doesn't like the Eagle? Cranks, SRAM Eagles as well. The fork is a Fox 34 Float Factory Fit 4, 130mm. Handlebars are raised face next at 760. Rear shock, Fox Float DPS Factory with a RockShox twist lock, spring remote lockout. That's a lot of words, people. Seat post is a Fox Transfer Factory. The tires are Maxxis Forecasters, and the wheels DT Swiss XMCs. Stick around after the ride because yeah, we're gonna break this down and give you my off-the-cuff opinion. All right, enough talking, more riding. Guys, I'll see you on the other side. Whoosh, off to Sedona. Not a bad place to start off a ride. I actually went to 2 different parking lots. They were full, the trailheads were packed, so I went to the Jordan trailhead, which is a little bit further out, but kind of wish I came here in the first place. Look at this. Let's see what this bad boy can do. I like the water bottle. Brand new trail signs. I haven't seen that in a minute. Those look like they just got bolted in this morning. It's the little things, folks. I don't want to give my impressions just yet, but I guess off the bat, just from pedaling the last 10 minutes before I turn the camera on, this thing is so light. I'm a little bit more forward in the cockpit. Obviously, I knew that was going to be a given because I'm on the Capra for the last month or so. The lockout suspension in and out has been pretty intuitive. I do know choosing my lines on a lower suspension bike than the Capra, I'm not going to be able to bulldozer everything as easy, so I kind of like that playing chess on the trail feature as well. Definitely have to pay attention where you're going and where you're placing the bike. Let's head down for a minute. Riding blind in this trail. I don't know if I mentioned that to you guys yet, but it's all right. I wouldn't even mind getting a little lost today. How about that? I don't think I will though. I'm pretty good at the mapping. Ooh, here we go. Oof. I think I would have had that except the tree jumped out in front of me. It's been happening to me quite a bit lately. Stupid tree. A little 20-minute impression. So far, so good. I definitely can tell the difference, obviously, between this and an enduro bike, but it's super playful, super light. Climbing's a breeze. I definitely want to get some more testing in on the DHs. So we're heading over to Grand Central in a bit, and we're going to test the downhill capability. All right, back to the bikes. I haven't been anywhere else that feels quite like Sedona. Look at that. You turn the corner, you've got millions of years of rocks built up in this fantasy into this fantasy. Yeah, I don't know why I say things, you guys try to decipher it. Soldier Pass. Hey, that woman thought I was gonna kill her. Hopefully I'm going the right way. I just want to kind of beat that group to the trail. That is a good 30 Mob Deep. Mob Deep, also a great 90s hip-hop duo right there. Look at the Sturt. We're on Mars, people. Every time I come to Sedona, I like to pretend that that's true. Even though we'll be there in a couple of years anyway, right? I don't know if I'm gonna move there. Grand Central, here we go. New territory. Oh, apparently there is some climbing on Grand Central as well. Look at that view. That's got to be the down because we're not getting any higher than this. 360 appreciation station coming up, people. Let's get one. All right, it's time to go. I'm getting butt blasted by vortexes. It's always a good sign when it's time to hit the DH when a vortex gives you a butt blast. Oh, we're headed down. Hang in there, buddy. Let's see what you can do. Okay. Going. Wow. Okay. That section was definitely built for the capper, but this thing handled it. Sick. Taking the drops. This thing's super fun. Holy cow. Here's a little bit of a cable rattle, but that's easily fixed. Super fun trail too. This bike's way more playful than I thought it was going to be. Really good with the turns. It's very turny. Whew. Thanks, skinny bars. We're on 760s as opposed to my normal 780. I think I would have clipped that sucker. In the wash. Like a chessboard, people. Ride it like a chessboard. Planning out your next moves. Little strategy to the game. Never hurt anybody. Then Coyote takes us to Adobe for a climb back up, and then we got some more adventures ahead. Don't forget, you guys, at the end of this video, I'm going to have some time to digest the ride. I'll give you my first impressions, what I think, how I felt overall. Obviously, you could tell I'm really loving the bike, so stay tuned.
There's something I probably wouldn't have done with a enduro bike. Tight switch back into a rock garden uphill. Pretty epic sinkhole. Whether you are a biker, mountain biker, hiker, tourist, always awesome to stop and take in these things that are crossing your path. Mountain biking puts you in beautiful places. Why not stop and take a minute? Look, there's a Christmas tree growing right in the center of the sinkhole. Hey, Santa's alive and well. Back on Jordan. I think it's gonna be more fun going down. There's some good stuff on this trail that I saw climbing up it. Mind if I cruise past you?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's that?
Go ahead. Either way. I think I go that way or that way.
Okay. What if I wanted to go in the middle? Woo! Thanks. Little drop zone here, not a huge drop, maybe 3.5, but for a short travel bike, let's see how it feels. No problem. You're fun. It's so fun, I did it a couple times. Tag, you're it. I've seen that couple probably 5 times doing this loop. Maybe they're following me. This is not the trail. It's tough in Sedona. Slick rocks, side shooters. You just want to go down. There's the truck. Found you. It's not over yet, because I have to break this bike down for you. I'm gonna send you over to myself wearing a nice sweatshirt and maybe a hat or something, looking fancy after a shower, and I'll catch up with you there. I'll see you on the other side. We're back. Here we are, once again. I don't know what I was talking about. A sweatshirt and a hat isn't really that fancy. I got a hat on, feel like I'm underdressed. Anyway, right off the bat, let me say thanks to Red Agave Resort before we get to the breakdown and my summary of the bike. This is one of the best places I've ever stayed. I have never been in a place with trail access 20 feet from your room. Slim Shady Trail is right out my front door. I've never had that feeling of just putting on my gear and pedaling into one of the best trails in the world. There's 2 jacuzzis that are right behind you. There's chateaus, grills, bike racks, full kitchen stocked with utensils, master bedroom, 2 beds upstairs, studio areas as well. So hyped to be here with Pupper Pip. Info below for Red Agave Resort. YT Izzo Pro Race, what did I think of it? For this specific ride, it was so much fun. As a caveat, probably not something I want to take to the bike park. This is a pretty core XC bike. I felt a little bit more up in the bike. The handlebars are skinnier. This bike is for an all-around, really long day, great day out on the trails, or for somebody that's just looking for a nice, fast pedaling bike. You're appreciating the climb as much as the descent. This is a well-balanced machine to fit into that category. If I had the option, I would like to add this one to my arsenal for specific trail rides that I do. As far as personal preference, although I see what YT was doing with this, putting a really fast tire on this fast bike, personally I want something with a little bit more grip. I'd probably fatten them up a little bit. I'd probably put my go-to like DHR dissector on the back and my DHF on the front, maybe a 2.4. In SoCal it's pretty loose here year round, so I'm cool with keeping that grip on. Where you live, the forecasters might do perfectly. One thing I didn't mention is one more thing here, how intuitive that lockout feature was for the suspension. It took me like a minute to figure it out and to have my hand just kind of automatically know. I've never felt like on a climb where I could just snap something in for a few seconds just to get a couple stiffer strokes in there.
That's what she said.
Michael, please.
Sorry. You know what I mean though. You're gonna be going up and down pretty consistently and pedaling, so having that on the handlebar was a really great addition to the bike. All right, I've talked enough. With that, I'm gonna say goodbye. New videos every single week. I'm Tony from the Outsider channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Join us on Patreon where your dreams obviously all will come true. See you next week.